Welcome to the Wounded Angels Network, and this time I'm speaking to you from the beautiful Temenos Retreat Centre in Mc Gregor in the Western Cape, Southern Africa. I'm standing here in the magnificent gardens of Temenos at an angel that is dedicated to the lost children. Angel for the lost children, and it tells us on the plaque that it was created by Bulelani Noy and conceived by the journey of Elaine Anderson. I do not know Elaine Anderson, but I can imagine that Elaine is what has been called an angel mom, a mother who has lost a child. It's a beautiful shrine, and if you look carefully you can see here some booties that have been put by mothers coming to mourn their children. There are bracelets, prayer bracelets put around the angel, and a little tile with the child's name on it. The experience of the loss of a child is universal. As long as we have been human, not all of us have made it to adulthood. And yet, despite knowing that, there is always a sense that there's something wrong when a parent has to bury a child. It should not be that way. In our expected order of life, a child should be the one who buries their parent. But when a parent loses a child, it brings home to us some very profound realities, and those realities are hard won in the experience of trying to find meaning for what has happened in this distorted order of how we expect life to unfold. We all know that we will be born. We all know that, as some joker has said, none of us gets out alive. But in this dying of a child, almost out of time, our minds struggle to come to terms with the loss. And in my work with angel moms and dads, parents who have lost children as infants, as teenagers, even in midlife, I have found these people reaching out, these wounded angels themselves, these angel parents, often crave some sense that their child is okay. Particularly on bad weather nights, when it's cold or it's wet or it's raining, they will say, are they okay? Are they warm? Because that maternal and paternal instinct continues despite the fact that the object of that care is no longer there. Very often, angel parents will find meaning in the appearance of a feather that suddenly appears in the house and there's been no bird there, or even a feather outside, or a flower that just drops on their path, and they take it to be a message, the child saying, I'm okay, I'm okay. Of course, the truth about the loss of a child is that it reminds us very forcefully that dying is part of living. Somehow in our Western culture we have become exceedingly death denying. We will discuss almost every other subject at our dinner tables. We will discuss sex, we will discuss our own sexual experiences. But if you want to kill a conversation at a dinner table, say, gee, I really went to a nice funeral the other day. The conversation will end right there. We are a death-denying culture. And so to experience an out-of-time death, an untimely death, the death of a child, brings us to that deep realization that death is natural. Not everybody makes it to adulthood. The other very helpful thing to hear when one is an angel parent, and I have consulted many angel parents over the years, that they all say this sense of of where is my child now keeps coming up for them. And a colleague and therapist has given me this beautiful image, which says how she says to her clients who come to her for help and for guidance in grief, she says to them, imagine the most beautiful picture you can, the most magnificent piece of art that you can imagine, whether it's a landscape or a mountainscape or a seascape. Imagine the most beautiful picture that you can imagine, the most beautiful location you can imagine. Wherever your child is a million times better than that. We cannot imagine how wonderful life beyond this life is, and very often that's enough for a parent to recognize that their child is okay. And whether or not you believe in hells and heavens and levels, the truth is that our children who die are okay. In fact, they might be more okay than we are, because we are the ones who are living with the grief. We are the ones who are still struggling with the pain. We are the ones who have to celebrate every anniversary, every birthday, every Christmas with the empty chair at the table. The final point about death and dying, and particularly the death of a child, is I have no fucking idea. Remind me, please, Rena. The third point?
It's here. Wherever they are here.
The third point that I would like to make, cut. The third point that I'd like to make to bring this home is the beautiful picture, a million times better than that, the reality that death is part of life. Holding those together, you might be saying, but isn't that just a projection out there somewhere? And where is this wonderful picture place that you're asking me? Is it beyond our solar system? Is it far away? How do I reach my child? No. The truth about those who die is that they don't go far away. In fact, over many years of working with death and dying of people of all ages, I've come to realize that in death, the only thing that changes is the physical presence. Everything else continues. The relationship, the love, the reciprocal sense of being remains. All that is changed is that there is no one with skin on, the physical presence. But heaven, however you picture it, isn't far away. Wasn't it Jesus who said the kingdom of God, that wonderful place, is within us? And so our loved ones, particularly our children who have died, are still with us. We remember them. And in every remembering, can you see the word member in there? Every time we remember, we restore them to the membership of what has been called the communion of saints, the family of love. They are not far away. In closing, may I tell you a story which doesn't relate specifically to children, but tells the story from the Jewish tradition of an old rabbi who is lying on his deathbed, and he's in a sort of semi-comatose state, and he comes to more consciousness, and he opens his eyes and he looks around the bed and he sees all his disciples weeping, and he whispers to them in a broken, dry voice, "Why are you crying?" And they say, "But Rabbi, you are dying. We are sad that you're dying." And the old rabbi looks at them and says, "But where can I possibly be going where my love will not still be able to reach you?" If you have lost a child and are mourning that child's absence deeply, may I remind you, they have not gone far away. Yes, they have died in a natural process, because death is part of living. We start dying the moment we are born. But they have gone to a place much better than this, and that place isn't far away. It's a place in our hearts and in our memories. Amongst the angels that stand here at Temenos, in the little symbols of memory, but most of all in the remembrance, the restoring to memory, to membership in our hearts. Thank you for your attention and for this conversation from this beautiful, beautiful Temenos, this safe place of healing from the Wounded Angel Network. If you would like to at any time connect with me in a one-on-one Skype or Zoom interview, please just send an email that you will see coming up at the end of this video. Thank you once again from the Wounded Angel Network, teaching wounded angels how to fly.